Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Lewis Speaks 2021, and I want to ask you a question. Do you expect too much from other people, or do you just now have a better understanding of your standards and require more? I know before in the past, I struggled with low self esteem. I didn't know myself at all. I allowed people to come into my life and give me crumbs and give me the bare minimum. And I accepted that for a while because for a while I thought that was all I deserved. For a while I was more preoccupied with them being true to themselves and being comfortable around me than I was about me expecting more from other people. And I realize now that I come into my own skin and I come into my own understanding of myself and I start doing more for myself and start loving myself, and my esteem is just soaring right now. I'm starting to realize that I can no longer settle for less. I can't settle for the crumbs and the dregs that people try and offer me. And many people now, they start to say things like, oh, you've changed. And yes, I have changed. I've grown. I've grown into a better understanding of my worth. I now realize that I deserve more than what people have been giving me. And so I realize that this newfound awakening has caused a lot of people that I once called friend to distance themselves. Say that I'm expecting too much. Say that I am overreacting. When the reality is, I'm just waking up and I'm starting to realize that I was shortchanged. I'm starting to realize that the people that I thought were my friends were really just people that were comfortable with giving me less. They were looking for deals. They were looking for discounts. And now that I'm developing a higher self-esteem as a result of my consistency, my self-consistency, I'm starting to realize that these were not friends at all. And a part of me is no longer connecting with their energy. And this is where the conflict comes in. This is where our arguments, we're not seeing eye to eye. We're butting heads. We're butting heads because I'm just waking up. And I'm starting to realize that all along, I was accepting less from people. And now that I'm demanding that they give me more, I'm demanding that they show up, be consistent, be honest, be present, reciprocate. Now that I'm demanding that, all of a sudden, it's problematic. And so I realize that, I definitely have a clearing that needs to happen in my life. I definitely need to clear out all those people that have grown accustomed to me settling for less and grown accustomed to giving me less. They have to go, because if they can no longer, like I said, this is my new philosophy. If they can't pay full price for me, if they can't give me the love, dedication, honesty, consistency, loyalty that I deserve, they have got to go. I can no longer put myself on the bargain shelf. I can no longer discount my feelings for the sake of their friendship. I can't do it. So they have got to go. And I've learned also that my new role is to assess capabilities. I need to assess a person's capability to love me. Because a lot of people are just not capable. Let's face it. A lot of people in this world are just not capable of giving you what you need. They can't afford you. There comes a point when you work so hard on yourself that people can no longer afford to be your friend. You've reached new levels. You start to develop standards. You start to develop boundaries on what you will and will not tolerate. And a lot of people, they're not comfortable when you start to enforce those boundaries. When you start to enforce those boundaries, hold up. They're so used to you being a doormat. They're so used to taking advantage of you and taking you for granted, they can't deal with this new person that you're becoming. It's foreign, it's alien to them. They are so used to you being this one trick pony, you know? And they're used to capitalizing off of your ignorance, off of your passivity. You know, they're so used to that this new person, this bold person, this person that is self-protective, they don't want that. And so your job now, as you mature, as you start to come into your own skin, is to really, really start assessing a person's capability to give you what you need. You know, a lot of people out there are emotional paraplegics. They're emotionally handicapped. They cannot give you the love, attention, affection, loyalty that you deserve. And so when you find that out, when you find that they can no longer afford you, it's time for you not to lower your price. Because before, what I used to do is, oh, let me give them a deal. Let me shave off a couple of zeros from my self-worth. You know? Let me make sure that they can reach me and afford me. No. You know why I can appreciate the value of accessibility? There comes a point where you have to recognize your worth and demand that others pay you accordingly. Because if you don't, people will constantly look for deals. And they will constantly take you for granted and take advantage of your kindness. You can't be giving deals out to people. You have to hold them accountable. Hold them to a higher standard. You know, me personally, yes, they can afford me. You know how I know? Because I've seen them afford other people. I've seen them reach out to other people who have high standards. And they can measure up to those standards. They can rise to that occasion, but they can't with me. Hold up. And the reason why they shortchange you is because they know that you're understanding. They know that you will make allowances for their negligence. You'll make allowances, you know? You'll give them the excuse that they need to give you less. And that's problematic. My thing is I can no longer give discounts. I can no longer give deals. I'm not shaving off prices. There's no blue light specials. Nah. You cannot pay full price for my friendship. And what that means is this. If you can't show up and be consistent and be loyal and be honest and true and reciprocate, you know, and be big on me. If you're not big on me like I'm big on you, then you can't afford me. And that means that you don't get to enjoy my energy. You don't get to enjoy my company. You don't get to enjoy the wonderfulness of Lewis. And if that means that I have to be single, if that means that I have to be alone, if that means that I have to be with myself, oh, that's fine. That is fine now. Because I realize that when you shortchange yourself, you're already alone. You're just alone with false company. That's all. You're just alone with empty bodies, because when you leave yourself and you go out there trying to please other people and trying to secure the love of other people, but you're leaving yourself, the relationships that you build are already over. Because what's going to happen is over time, the resentments are going to start to build and build and build. And then you're going to explode. You're going to blow up. You're going to get mad. You're going to get angry. You're going to ask yourself, why didn't they stop me? Why didn't they stop me from giving so much? Why didn't they stop me from doing the most? When really that was not their job. Your job is to protect your energy. It's not their job to protect it for you. And that's what I had to learn. And the thing about it is this: when you protect your energy, you're able to be a better friend. I can love you better when I'm not saddled down with resentment. I can love you better when I'm not angry all the time because of allowing so much to happen to me and not respecting my own boundaries. You know, when you take care of yourself and feed yourself, you don't have to get angry when others, want to feed off you, because you have enough to offer. But first you have to take care of yourself. You can't leave yourself in the red, and I think that's what a lot of so-called friends were used to. They were used to me being in the red, and they were comfortable because, for one, it made them feel superior. For two, they were benefiting off my generosity, my blind generosity. I call it blind generosity because I didn't see how it affected me in the long term, in the long run. So, but now I see how it will affect me in the long run. And now I demand people show up for me. I demand that they give me what I deserve. And if they refuse to, that's okay. They can go on to somebody else who can entertain their nonsense. Not here. Not here. So I hope this video is helpful to those who are in relationships with others who are comfortable with them doing the most. If you're currently in a relationship where you are doing the most to keep that relationship alive or that friendship alive, it's time that you fall back and you start to assess what's really happening here. Are you friends because you're the one that does all the calling, the texting, the inviting, the everything, the paying for dates or paying for outings? Do you pay for everything? Is there a balanced system of reciprocity in your relationship, in your friendship? Is your friendship or relationship comfortable with seeing you tolerate or take less? If it is, you need to start doing something for yourself. And that means fall back, step back, breathe, and begin to assess the person's capacity to love you and demonstrate that love through action. If they are not demonstrating that love through action, but merely just giving lip service, nah. If their words and their actions do not match, it's a no-go. No dice. And that means that you're going to have to make some tough decisions. Either you continue to tolerate that and shortchange yourself, or you terminate that relationship and begin to explore relationships that are more equal and fair, based on mutual reciprocity. So I encourage everybody to really start to evaluate their friendships and their relationships, and most importantly, start investing in yourself, because the more you invest in yourself, the less you're willing to tolerate the toxicity and the negligence, and being shortchanged by someone else. So the more that you love on yourself and you start to raise your value, you start to notice that, wait a minute, I just can't tolerate the same things that I once did. I'm working hard on me. I'm working hard to invest in myself daily. And so here's someone else trying to give me less than what I deserve. Oh, no. My crew can't go for that. So I hope this video was helpful, and I wish everybody wonderful and mutual and balanced relationships. Peace.